Alright, so in this video, I'm going to break down how tanks can dictate the pacing of the game to get easy wins without much effort at all. I chose this game in particular not because I played out of my mind or anything like that, but because it highlights the importance of tanks. And also, there's some pretty noteworthy players in here. We have Arso, who's a tournament player. He's like top 100, Celestial 1 or 2. We have Symphony, who's pretty solid DPS in around GM1, GM2. And then we have Emong, who's like an Overwatch 2 legend. Obviously, he's not quite as strong on the Cloak and Dagger, but still a very, very good player. So right off the bat, in terms of team comp, we have a 2-2-2 setup, and they have a 1-3-2 setup. This means that they have a singular tank. So my goal for this game is to take advantage of this fact by bullying their singular tank as much as possible. Because they are running a single tank, that's a lot of pressure on that one person to stay alive, provide space for their team. Essentially, if their tank dies, they will lose. They will not be able to take space. They won't be able to get picks. They won't be able to protect their healers. So my goal is to bully this player as much as possible. He's also their strongest player, so that's another consideration to make. Arso is probably the strongest person in this game. He's a Celestial level player, so if we take him out or just make it hard for him to play the game, it will make our chances of winning much higher. Right off the bat, I'm just walling things, creating space. I actually want to look here to pressure this Magneto, so I take down my wall. And I actually get hooked here, which is really bad. Most situations when this happens, I'm probably dead. My healers react really well, and I'm able to like kind of dance around my walls and survive. But that was really risky. That almost lost the fight. Also, we got a pick on their Hela, so we're already up 1. So this is looking good already. Again, I'm just playing around my walls, trying to harass their singular tank as much as possible. So again, just walling him off from his healers, forcing him to either back off or basically die, or make his healers position poorly. So we're able to pick him, take the point. Now we're just stabilizing. We're actually down our Punisher, so we're even right now. But the difference is they have no tank, and we have both tanks up. So we're able to pressure them off the point pretty easily. This is LOS here. I hate how that's LOS. That little screen. It's like an actual hard surface. So right here, we're just stabilizing, taking space. Now they Psylocke ult our Strange solo. So if I don't walk forward here, our Strange is dead. So I walk forward into this Psylocke ult to spread the damage of it to try to keep our Strange alive. And he gets really low here. So I think it does actually save him. And then at the same time, their Bucky ults in to finish our Strange or me. We get a really clutch counter ult from our Cloak right here, so that we're able to both kill the Bucky and keep both of our tanks alive. So this is a really good swing. Now again, we already have the point, so now we're just cleaning up, pushing them back. We just want to take as much space as possible. But again, I'm not over pushing here. I'm kind of playing around my Strange because he's the main tank here. So I'm not over pushing. I don't want to give them all charge for free by feeding my health to them. So I'm just playing back a bit. Getting able to poke. We have a lot of ults up here, so we actually want to use ults quickly. Our Psylocke forces the Cloak ult here, which is huge, because this forces them to do a really suboptimal Cloak ult. They have to Cloak ult way back there. Now, realistically, they may not have needed that because they had Loki lamps, so they may not have needed that at all. But just popping that Psylocke ult for kind of freaks out their Cloak enough to ult, and then we can just back up. They don't get any value from that Cloak ult. Now we're up an entire support ult from them, and again, once that Cloak ult goes down, I try to get the Psylocke and the Magneto here, end up just getting the Magneto, but this is okay because again, if we kill this Magneto, we basically win the fight. So I'm just walling him off from his healers, and we're able to kill him. We're even. Again, we're even. But the difference is they have no tank. We have both tanks. So we're still able to take space. We're able to push them back, even though we're even in terms of numbers. Then this is a pretty aggressive cloak ult, but I think it's not bad because we can clean them up, stagger them, and just take more time. I messed my reload up like 3 times here, but able to hit my shot still and kill that Bucky. I almost going to go down here to the Psylocke ult. Our Strange gets a pretty good ult, and then we do our second cloak ult. Thankfully, their Magneto does not take out our cloak, because that's one of the best ways to deal with cloak ult is just Magneto ult and like slam it down on our face. But now we're already down one and they're cloak ulting in, so this is looking pretty bad. I'm able to get a pick on the Hela, but it's already looking pretty bad. So my goal right now isn't really to trying to win. I'm just trying to build ult charge, stay alive, potentially stall. But I see people are falling, so basically the goal is just build ult charge and then reset. Always making sure to die on point too, so don't give them free time on point. So we regroup here. We don't have many ults. They don't either. They have one ult. We have one ult coming up too. We have my ult, which is arguably more impactful. Now again, my goal is to just cut off this Magneto pretty much every single fight. I'm just taking space my walls, blocking out that left side. We get a pick on the able to get a pick on the Psylocke, and then again we're countering their Bucky ult with cloak ult, and then we pick the Bucky. Very big swing. And then both cloak ults, so we're basically just waiting this out because they kind of cancel each other out. And again, I solo ulted that Bucky because I didn't want him to go again, and just like kind of combo off on our team. If I knew that our cloak was going to ult, I probably wouldn't have done that. But it's a decent play if we don't have the cloak ults to counter, because it means that we're absolutely going to pick him. If he gets solo ulted like that, he cannot kill anyone, and like it's just a good way to keep our numbers up, and like not risky. Again, just walling off this Magneto as much as possible, forcing him to move. He gets picked. Now they're already down a lot, so we basically won the round at this point. We're just cleaning up. Their cloak is forced up touch point. Yeah, and because they're forced to touch point because they have no tank, we get picks. We get picks because of that. And then this kind of throws off the whole equilibrium of their team comp. And our healers are able to survive the Magneto ults. And again, I basically just solo ult the Magneto. I know he's the linchpin of their whole team. So if he dies, we win. Now they're just kind of funneling in. We just take the point. Now for round 2, our team, for some reason we switched to BP. I don't know why. We won last round fine with Punisher, but we switched to BP here. And see how that goes. Again, my goal is as Groot is just to play point. My walls, I just want to set them up on point, take positioning. So the earlier the better. We're able to get them really low here, and don't get any picks. They have a good Loki lamp, and our BP goes down. And our cloak doesn't quite reach me with that, with his ult, so this is just a kind of a slow stagger. We basically lost this fight already. Unless our team does something really clutch. That's kind of almost a lost fight already. So they trade, but again, they're Psylocke ulting. They're Star-Lord ulting. It's not looking good. So at this point, we just want to... But we didn't give point that whole time, so that's good. So they're just capping it now. So it's not too bad. But just got to regroup. Right here, I kind of want to go top, but No one's listening to me, so I just like, all right, I guess we're going main. Going down this main hallway is kind of bad sometimes because they just have so much space to just pepper you with shots before you can walk up. But unfortunately, our BP gets picked again, so we're already starting this fight down a whole player. So it's not good. And then I get hooked here. I'm just trying to walk back into the cloak ult. Yep, stay alive. But then they counter cloak ult, and they counter cloak ult second. And then our cloak got killed by the Magneto ult. So this fight is already looking lost. I'm already backing up. I'm already like, okay, we're down players. They countered all ults. We just need to reset here as quickly as possible. Don't waste time fighting and giving them ult charge. Point. Just wait a bit. Now we wall off this Bucky again. We're able to kill this Bucky because he overextends again, which is pretty huge. Now I ult them as they cloak ult, so I don't really get much value. It does mess up their positioning, and cloak ult is second, so this is good. We have more time on our cloak ults. We're able to force them back and clean them up here. Now I'm just trying to push up here, just trying to take the base. I want to take as much damage as possible here because I want to build support ults. We just used ours, so we want to build them back up as quickly as possible. So I actually take damage here on purpose. Even though my team doesn't really push up with me, they should be pushing up with me, but they don't, which is all right. We just take a lot of damage, and our our cloak is already 60, almost 70 to his ult again. Again, I'm just walling off the Psylocke from the rest of his team, so we can hopefully stabilize and just kill him. Unfortunately, right here, I was hoping the Loki would walk forward and stay near me and the Strange, because we want the Psylocke ult to spread to as many players as possible. The less people in a Psylocke ult, the worse it is for you, because the more damage it'll do to that one person. But if you have like 3 or 4 people in a Psylocke ult, it'll be spread across every single player, so you'll all pretty much be guaranteed to live. The Loki backs up here, ends up dying, but again, we're only down 1, so it's not totally lost yet. But we end up getting the Psylocke too, so we're down 1 in total. So we're down 2, they're down 1. Our Strange gets a huge ult here. They get a good bubble on the cloak here, but so I just switched targets to kill the Bucky. So we still get a pick from it. Now right here, we want to prevent this Magneto from killing our cloak in her ult, because that's really bad. The Magneto will one-shot the cloak and it'll swing the whole fight. So I'm walling frantically to try to block it, and then our Strange is also shielding, trying to block it as well. Our Strange ends up blocking it. I almost get it with the wall itself, but our Strange ends up blocking it, which is huge. So now we can take space much easier. It basically forces them off the point entirely, because if they stay in that ult, we just win. Now the Star-Lord ults here, he's pretty separated from his team, so if we all focus him right now, he's definitely just going to die. Our Strange blocks it a bit. He actually even gets a bubble, but we're focusing him, and the Strange actually gets him in the air. Now right here, they're cloak ulting in, so this is pretty bad. I'm just trying to like protect myself here, stay alive, but they do pick me. But here, even though I'm dead, we still have a tank alive. So this isn't that bad. They're only down 1, and our healers are in the back just healing our full health Strange. So it's not too bad here. Our Strange is playing pretty well, and we actually get a pick on the Bucky again. And they're not pressuring. They're pressuring our Strange, but our healer's in the back, and no one's pressuring our back line, so we're able to keep him up. And they cloak ult in, which is bad. But we still have almost our whole team alive. Now we're down our Psylocke, but at this point, I'm almost already back. And we're actually using Loki ult to use a puncher ult. Pretty risky, but we end up getting it. We do get a pick with it, so it's not bad. Then we have another puncher ult. And then here, I just get a quick ult to kill one. But they're already down a lot of players here, so they fall apart pretty quick, and we end up winning the game. But anyway, that whole game is just to show that, like, team comp matters a lot. They had arguably better players on their team. Their tank player was a really good top 100 level player. They had Emong, who's an Overwatch pro, really strong player, and Symphony, who's pretty insane on Psylocke as well. But we're just running a standard 2-2-2 comp, and they're running a 1-3-2 comp. Just bullying out this one tank will force them basically to back off entirely. The single tank just doesn't work if we have a 2 tank, and then we effectively pressure the single tank. So even though this single tank is playing really well, is a good player, if we just shut him down and don't let him play the game, the rest of the team will fall apart because they can't take space, they can't get picks, they can't protect their backline. So we just repeatedly bully this one player, and the whole team falls apart. And then you see the opposite in our team. We have 2 tanks. So even when one of our tanks goes down, or we go 1-for-1 somewhere, because we have 2 tanks up, running a 2-tank lineup, we can just bully them back, like pretty much every single fight. It's just basically like a team comp diff, essentially. And it just shows how tanks really do dictate the pacing of a fight, and don't seem too important on paper because they don't do as much damage as DPS, but they end up being much more valuable for the team. Let me know what you guys think of this kind of a gameplay analysis video. It's my first time trying this kind of format, so it's still a bit rough around the edges. Be sure to like and sub if you want to see more Rivals content, and follow me on Twitch for some live gameplay. I just hit Celestial, and we'll be pushing for top 500 pretty soon as well. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.